Hello and welcome back. This is your Rahul sir. Today in kinematics of machines, we will be studying about the module 5, which is the gear trains. Okay. So, you know that in any application, industrial application, power has to be transmitted from one shaft to the other. Okay. Power the motion has to be transmitted from one uh, shaft to the other. Okay, so from, say for example, from one shaft to the last shaft. So to do that, we can make use of the belt drives or the gears. So whenever there is a combination of gears arranged such that to transmit the power from one shaft to the other, then it is known as gear trains. Okay, so even here in this example you can see that there is gear number A, gear number B and gear number C. So the power is being transmitted from the gear A to gear B. So hence A becomes the driver and C becomes the follower. Okay, so even in this particular example here, there are four shafts. Okay, but the power is being transferred from the first shaft to the last shaft. Okay, with the help of 1, 2, 3, 4 gears. Okay, so any arranged number of gears doesn't matter. Okay, so the arrangement of gears to transmit power from one shaft to the other is known as gear trains. Okay, so even in this example also we can see if the this is the input shaft where the drive is there and it is given to the last shaft. So here, so this shaft rotates. So when this shaft rotates, it rotates the gear, the black gear, which in turn is in mesh. Okay, with the greenish gear. So it rotates that greenish gear, and since that greenish gear and the blue gear are on the same shaft, to whatever speed this shaft rotates, to the same speed this gear also rotates, and hence it gives the, and since this blue gear is in mesh with the other gear here, it transmits the power over here. Okay, so from this example you can see that gear train, sometimes two or more gears are made to mesh with each other to transmit power from one shaft to another. Such a combination is called gear train. A gear train is composed of one or more gears in mesh for the purpose of transmitting power from one shaft to another. Okay. Now, another definition we have to understand is the something known as speed ratio. Okay, speed ratio, also sometimes known as velocity ratio. So let us define that. The speed ratio of a gear train is the ratio of the speed of the driver to the speed of the driven or follower. So in any gear combination, so the first gear where the power is there, which is known as the driver, and then there is one more gear that is the driven. So power is also, even in this case, let us assume that the this is the driver, this gear, and this gear is the driven. Okay, so let n1 be the speed of the driver, because we know that the gear has to rotate in some speed, right? To whichever speed the shaft is rotating, to the same speed the gear is rotating, and isn't it? Okay, so let n1 be the speed of the driver, and let t1 be the number of teeth on the driver. So because it is a gear, so always there will be some number of teeth. Okay, so let t1 be the teeth of the driver. Also, let's go to the second gear. Let n2 be the speed of the driven gear, or also known as the follower, and let t2 be the number of teeth on the driven gear again. Okay. Now this teeth also, the bigger the size of the gear, the more the number of teeth. Okay, or the larger the diameter of the gear, the more is the number of teeth. Okay. So now from definition, the speed ratio is nothing but the speed of the driver to the speed of the driven. So if n1 is the speed of the driver and n2 is the speed of the driven, then speed ratio is nothing but n1 by n2. n1 by n2 gives you the speed ratio. Now the ratio of the speeds of any pair of gears in mesh is the inverse of the number of teeth. So n1 by n2 is equal to the inverse of the teeth. That means t2 by t1. That is the speed ratio. Okay. If I have to elaborate this, okay, speed is nothing but speed of the driver divided by speed of the follower or the driven is equal to number of teeth on the driven divided by number of teeth on the follower. Okay, you have this is very important equation, and I hope you understood this. Speed ratio of a gear train or a gears of combination is always the speed of the driver divided by speed of the driven. Okay, so in this case, if n1 is the speed of the driver and n2 is the speed of the driven, then n by 1 n2 gives me the speed ratio. Suppose if I don't know the speeds, okay, but I know the number of teeth on each gear, then the speed ratio is equal to number of teeth on the driven gear divided by number of teeth on the driver gear. So that's why I written T2 by T1. Okay, so this is very, very important. Please listen, understand this slide, where this is very critical. Also, one more definition is the train value. The train value of the gear train, okay, is the ratio of speed of the driven to the speed of the driver. Okay, so train value is nothing but speed of the driven divided by speed of the driver, which is nothing but again number of teeth on the driver divided by that of the follower. So if you can observe, you know that this is the reciprocal of velocity ratio or speed ratio. Okay, so from the above equation we can see that the train value is the reciprocal of speed ratio. So train value can also be written as 1 by speed ratio. Okay, so next we will see what are the types of gear trains or classification of gear trains. Okay, now first of all, what is a gear train? How many gears are there in a gear train? At least there should be two, because the power has to be transmitted from one shaft to another. So in that case, I should have minimum of 2 gears, right? Okay, so it could be a minimum of 2 gears and any number of gears, any number depending upon the size of the application. I can have any number of gears to get the desirable direction as well as the reduction in the speed. Okay, so types of gear train: there are simple gear train, compound gear train, reverted gear train, and epicyclic or planetary gear train. 4 types. We will see each one of them. So simple gear train. When there is only one gear on each shaft, it is known as a simple gear train. So there is a combination, there is a gear train. I know that in a gear train there should be at least two gears or more. Okay, 2 or more gears. But when it is called a simple gear train, when each shaft has only one gear. When a shaft has only one gear on it, then it is known as simple gear train. Please see this example. Even in this example, or if we'll start with this example over here. Here, how many shafts are there? There are 4 shafts. And on each shaft, how many gears are there? 1. Hence, this whole combination is known as a simple gear. This is known as a simple gear train. Okay. So even here also, gear A, it is keyed to the shaft over here. Gear B is shaft keyed to the shaft B, and gear C is keyed to the shaft C. Hence, A rotates, A is in mesh with B, it makes B to rotate. B is in mesh with gear C, it makes C to rotate. Okay. Another thing that to observe is, if gear A in this combination rotates in a clockwise direction, then where it is in mesh with gear B, in what direction does B rotate? In the opposite direction, right? In the opposite direction. Similarly, B is in mesh with the gear C. So again, so if B rotates in anti-clockwise direction, then C is in opposite to that clockwise direction. Okay. Also, so in this combination, all right, in this example, gear A, B, and C, A is the driver and C is the driven. A is the driver and C is the driven. Then B is known as an idle gear. Its whole purpose of the B is to just transmit from A to C. Okay. Now, all right. So even here in the bottom sketch, the red color gear is the driver and the green color is the driven, whereas blue one is the intermediate gear, also known as the idle gear or idler gear. Okay. Now in this example also here, if I assume that the first gear is the driver, then the last gear is the follower or the driven gear, and these 2 gears are the idle gear. Okay. Alright. So again, so as I told you, simple gear train. So here there are 2. The first example, there are only 2 gears, 2 shafts. Each shaft has 1 gear, and hence only 2 gears. Okay. Here and see the direction. If one rotates in clockwise direction, the second will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. The next example, here there are 3 gears are given. In 3 shafts are there, and in each shaft, each gear is there. Gear 1, gear 2, and gear 3. In this gear train, 1 is the driver and 3 is the follower. Okay, and 2 is nothing but the idle gear. okay, because it's an idle gear. Next, even this is also a simple gear train. Why? Because on each shaft only one gear is there. There are 4 shafts. Gear 1 is the driver and gear 4 is the follower, whereas 2 and 3 are the idle gear. Okay. Now, now let us look at the directions in the second example. So if the driver moves in the clockwise direction, okay, then gear 2 will be in anti-clockwise. Then again gear 3 will be in the clockwise. Okay, fine. Let us go to the next example. So in the C, gear 1 is in clockwise, gear 2 anti-clockwise, gear 3 again clockwise, and gear 4 is again anti-clockwise. Okay. In other words, if I want the driver and the follower to rotate in the same direction, then I should have one idle gear, or I should have an odd number of idle gears. Similarly, if I want to have the driver gear and the driven gear in opposite direction, then I need to have even number of idle gears. Okay. Right. So now the idle gears are used for the following two purposes. One, to connect gear when a large center distance is required. Okay. Suppose between the driver shaft 1 and follower shaft 2, the distance is too much. Okay. In the sense, if these are the distance, then I need to have a bigger gear here and a bigger gear here, right? So instead of that, I'm going to use the smaller gear in between. Okay, so in such cases, we go for the idle gear. Second, to obtain the desired direction of motion in the driven gear. Okay, to get the desired motion. If I want to get the same direction if I want the follower gear to have the same direction as the driver gear, then I have to have odd number of followers. If I want to have opposite direction, I need to have even number of followers. Okay. Now let us see the speed ratio in a simple gear train. Okay. First of all, so I'll take the first example. So there are 2 gears. This is a simple gear train. Why? Because on each shaft only one gear is there. Okay. So 2 gears. So it's very simple here. Gear number 1 is a driver and gear number 2 is a follower. Okay. So this is the front view and this is the top view. Suppose if N1 and T1 are the speed of gear 1 and teeth of gear 1 respectively, and N2 and T2 are the speed of gear the driven and number of teeth on the driven, then the speed ratio. What is the definition of speed ratio? Speed ratio is that's the ratio of the speed of the driver to speed of the driven. So speed of the driver is N1, speed of the driven is N2. Okay, isn't it? N1 by N2. This is nothing but the reversal of the number of teeth. This is nothing but the reversal of the number of teeth. Okay. Similarly, if I come to this sketch, okay, there are 3 gears, driver 1, driver 2, 3. In this case, let N1 be the speed of T1, T1, T2, all these things. And this is the gear number 1 is the driver and the gear number 3 is a follower and 2 is the idler gear. Okay. So now we have to what is the gear ratio? Gear ratio is N1 by N3. I need that. Okay. But I'm going one by one. I'll first calculate what is the speed ratio between gear 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2, it is N1 by N2, that is equal to T1 by T2, right? When I say 1 and 2, 1 is the driver and 2 is the follower, right? 1, isn't it? Okay. So this is N1 by N2 is T1 by T2. Similarly, speed ratio between gear 2 and 3. Now, 2 is the driver and 3 is the follower. In that case, is N2 by N3, that is T3 by T2. Now, the speed ratio of gear 1 and 1 from 1 to gear 3 is nothing but the multiplication of this. So, if I do that, N1 by N2 into N2 by N3 is equal to nothing but T2 by T1 into T3 by T2. From a close observation, the speed of N2 and N2 is the same. Okay, and then here T2 and T2 is the same. Hence, N1 by N3 is equal to T3 by T1. Or speed ratio, in case of simple gear train, speed ratio is equal to speed of the driver to speed of the driven is equal to number of teeth on the driven teeth to the number of teeth on the driver teeth. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many idle gears are there in between. You can directly get this expression that speed in case of a simple gear train, number of teeth on the driven divided by number of teeth on the driver will always give you the speed ratio. Okay, we will continue in the next video.